Yeah.
So we want to talk. Because I read the article. I mean, I see what you're saying in here.
Yeah.
You know, I see how you said, you know, this the city. I mean, we've been talking about it all week. So, you know, I just want to see how you're feeling, man.
No doubt. I ain't had a chance to see that yet.
Oh yeah, well, you talked about some stuff in here that I want to touch on. I got my little highlights. I didn't want to ask you the same question.
Okay.
So you know, we done this interview plenty of times. We've done it in front of fans and in front of thousands. But you know, I'm excited, man. You know, you still. You know what? I was gonna show you. I am not taking down any of my stuff. My jersey still up there. My football still up there. You know, we still got everything. You know, and my producers, everybody can vouch. You still my favorite player.
Keep repping, baby. Got to keep repping. The plan is to come back stronger than ever.
Let's go. You ain't got to do that, man. We just gonna, you know, get the mic adjusted, and then we. Huh? Okay. What?
When this came out,
I think this, you know, me and Mike Vick are looking at the newest ESPN. They talked about it today. I had my producer go down and get it. You hadn't even had a chance to see this.
No, I ain't had a chance to see it yet. This is the first time.
So, you know, we're going to talk about some of the things you talked about in this, but I want to just say, first of all, you know, as a fan, you know, I was telling the people earlier, now, if you are logging on to v103webmag.com right now, you can see the stream live. Michael Vick is in the studio. How do you feel, man, being back in Atlanta? We'll talk about being on the football field tomorrow, but being back in Atlanta.
You know, it's been 2 years since I've been back in Atlanta. You know, having the opportunity to come back, you know, is something that I never thought would happen as soon as it did.
Right.
You know, and once I seen that, you know, the Falcons was on the schedule, you know, it just brought a smile to my face, and I immediately became excited. You know, it's just a great opportunity to have a chance to be back and see some of the old landmarks that I got used to seeing when I was here,
right,
that I haven't seen in a long time, and you know, it brought back a lot of vivid memories.
I want to go back to, you know, I was telling, we've talked a lot, I mean, about Michael Vick and his impact on the city. When you were released and you talked to everybody about how you were feeling, you seemed to be genuinely moved and changed. And I remember doing a show on it talking about not only does Mike seem like he has, you know, become a better man, but you just seem like, man, you had become like well-read, like you was doing something, you was like studying, becoming a scholar or something in there. What was going on in your mind?
You know, I figured, you know, I had 544 days of doing prison, and, you know, why not, you know, use that time wisely and try to better myself and, you know, try to educate myself as much as I could on things that I didn't know, you know, when I was, you know, in the free world. And, you know, I had so many people sending me all types of books, I had no choice but to read as well. So I figured if I didn't, then I would be being lazy. And, you know, since I had all the idle time, you know, I just wanted to make the most of it, and, you know, I had the chance to think about a lot of my wrongdoings and a lot of things that I did that didn't sit well with a lot of people, and I just wanted to, you know, come out and present a different individual when I came out.
Michael Vick in the studio with us right now on the People Station V103 and the Ryan Cameron Show. We got cameras, we got all kinds of stuff in here. You talk about in your ESPN article how you go from everybody loving everything that you do, nobody can ever say anything bad about you, to once you got out of prison, not knowing what was going to happen when you went to the Popeyes or to the grocery store, and what kind of reaction. What has that reaction been like?
I mean, the reaction has been great, and it's been kind of overwhelming to me because everybody I run into, with the exception of one person, has been very supportive. You know, has always you know, tried to provide, you know, words of encouragement, and, you know, always tell me they want to see me excel, and, you know, try to make the most of my second chance. So, you know, it's been a warm reception, you know, from people all around the world, and I've been to 14 or 15 different cities since I've been home, and, you know, it was pretty much the same way before I left. You know, people wanted to see me, you know, bounce back and you know, make the most out of another opportunity. So, you know, it surprised me at the same time because, you know, you fear the unknown and you don't know what people think, you know how they're going to perceive you. You know, so, you know, it just came as a shock. I have to be honest.
Did you expect, what, people to heckle you? Do people come up to you and say all kind of mean things? Were you prepared to be, on the defensive? I mean, what were you expecting?
I was expecting people to, perceive me in a way that, I never thought they would, which is, in a bad notion.
Right.
To look at me as somebody who, did some things that was, very inhumane and cruel and, not really knowing how to view me, So, with the type of things that took place, even though I didn't want that to happen, I just thought that people would look at me as if I was a monster, but, that wasn't me.
Right.
That's not who I am as a person, as an individual. So yeah, I was kind of on the defensive and thought people would heckle me and certain things would be, said, and said with the intentions of hurting my feelings. And, to my surprise, it didn't happen. And it was more people that were supporting me than, people who wanted to, just throw me under the bus.
Do you feel like, people talk about, I remember hearing Rasheed Wallace talking about the fact that as he became a father and his children were old enough to understand that the things he was doing, getting technicals and getting kicked out of games, that, people would come to and talk to his kids like, man, your daddy crazy.
Yeah.
And then he would have to come home and change his ways because they were being able to be, ridiculed and heckled with your children and with your fiance. And did that affect you, knowing that people would, they couldn't say it to you,
right,
they could say it to them?
Right. And I can relate to what Rasheed went through. I have a son that's 7 years old. I also have a daughter that just turned 4. And they had to come and visit me in prison when I was going through, the dogfight allegations and a lot of things were being said on TV each and every day. My son was able to comprehend what was actually being said. And the thing that really stuck out to him was the fact that I was going to jail, and that's all he heard. And I never forget one night that, he just burst out into tears because, he didn't want me to go to jail, and there was nothing that I could do about it. So, had I put my kids first and thought about their feelings and what they was going to think and, how their peers was going to, deal with them, in regards to, maybe picking at them or ridiculing them because of their dad's faults.
Right.
I would have made a better decision. And, I failed to do that, and that's part of my motivation to come back and do the right thing and to try to be an instrument of change.
We're going to talk more about, we got an hour with Mike here in the People's Station V103. We're going to talk about a lot of different things, but I want to talk about football. And now that you're back in the league, I remember when, like you said, when we found out that we were playing you guys tomorrow, ticket prices went through the roof. Everybody wanted to be in the Georgia Dome to see the return.
Yeah.
The Falcons haven't had the type of season that we expected. Your comeback, while you've had one big run, has it been what you expected as far as being used and where you thought you would be now as part of the offense for your team?
Well, as we know, it's a different role that I'm playing. I had to get used to it. I knew coming into the situation, in Philadelphia that, I was going to be used in a limited role. And, I had the discretion of choosing whether I wanted to do that or not. There was a couple other teams who was interested, but, I thought this was a strong, organization, a flagship organization that, can help me, in so many different ways and have an opportunity to come and sit, behind Donovan and learn as much as I could and try to get myself back into shape, was the most important thing. So I really wasn't shocked that I didn't have an opportunity to, play as much, early in the season. In so many ways, I think it was the best thing for me. And, even, right now, as much as I would like to play, I know that's not my position, to say what I want to do with this team.
Right.
I have to, play my role and when called upon, do the best that I can, But, I wish I could have played more, plays. I wish I could have made more plays for this team when given the opportunity because I've had, enough plays to make some plays. And, whether things don't happen or go the way you want it to go, that's just the game of football. They get paid too on the other side. So, who knows? We still got, 5 more games left, and we want to make that playoff run and try to get that ring, and that's the most important thing to me.